Hi, third graders, Miss Whitford here, and today we're going to talk about comparing fractions with the same numerator. Um, so remember, when we compare fractions, we're looking to see which is bigger or smaller, and then we can use we can use the symbols to compare. Much better. To compare the two fractions. So what I want to talk, or what I want to show you, is fraction bars, and I just want you to look at the size as I keep putting them up. Okay. So I'm going to start with 1/2. 1/2 has a numerator of 1. So the next one I'm going to put up also is going to have a numerator of 1. Okay. 1/3, numerator of 1. Let's keep going. 1/4, numerator of 1. 1/5, numerator of 1. So all of these fractions right here, they all have the same numerator. And it's very easy to see from that when you are looking at fractions, when you're looking to compare fractions with the same numerator, the denominator actually, so the fraction with the larger denominator is actually the smaller fraction, because this means, remember, the denominator is how many equal pieces it's broken up into. So like if you have a cookie and you break it up into two pieces, like one for you and one for your friend, like if I was going to share mine with Mr. Whitford because I'm feeling very generous, then we'd each have, like, a pretty decent amount size of cookie. But if I broke up a cookie into 3 pieces, well, each piece is going to be a little bit smaller. If I broke it up into 4 pieces, each piece is going to be a little bit smaller. 5 pieces, each piece is going to be a little bit smaller. So think of it like sharing. Like if you only have to share one thing between a few people, everyone's going to get a bigger portion. But if you have to share it between a lot of people, you're going to get a smaller portion. So when you're comparing fractions with the same numerator, the fraction with the larger denominator is actually the smaller fraction. Okay, so let me show you a few examples here. So if you look at this, if you want to look at just these numbers over here, okay, so we're comparing between two, both have a numerator of 2, 2/5 and 2/10. Remember, this means 2 out of 5 equal parts. This means 2 out of 10 equal parts. You can even see the visual over here. This is broken up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's broken up into 10. Just looking at this, can you see which one is larger? Yeah, 2 out of 5, 2/5 is larger. So if you keep looking at these, the one that's going to have the larger denominator, I get so confusing, the larger denominator, when you're comparing fractions with the same numerator, is actually the smaller fraction. Like I said, think of it as sharing between friends. If you have more friends that you're going to share it with, everyone gets a smaller piece. I'm just going to show a few examples down here. So if I were to, let's say, compare 3/7 and 3/4. Okay, so I'm looking at these. The numerator is the same. So I know that I want to see which has the larger denominator. All right, larger denominator means smaller fraction. Larger denominator, smaller fraction. So that means this is what I would use to compare those two. I'll do one more just to show an example. Let's say I have 7. Let's do like a random number. 7/18 and 7, I don't know, 7/10. Let's say, no, let's go even bigger. But 7 out of 7/25. Okay. So think about that. If you have a cake and you have to split it between 25 people, that's going to be some really small pieces. But if you only have to split it between 18 people, still kind of small pieces, just not as small. So the last thing I'll just kind of remind you to show you is that if you forget the way that it goes, you can think of like the alligator mouth opening towards the bigger one because it wants to eat more, or you can do this little trick. Think about which one is the smaller fraction. Remember, same numerator, larger denominator, smaller fraction. So this one's going to be the smaller fraction. So this one is going to get 1 dot because it's a smaller fraction. This one gets 2 dots because it's the larger fraction. And then you just connect the dots. So you would read this as 7/18 is larger or greater than 7/25. And that's it. That's all you have to do when you're comparing fractions with the same numerator.